Who is ready to add two-digit numbers with regrouping? I know I sure am. So let's take a look. First thing, let's go over an anchor chart we have here that tells you the step-by-step when you are adding two-digit numbers. Now they have the larger number on top and the smaller number on the bottom. But we know because of commutative property, we can put the add-ins in either order, and it really does not matter. What does matter is that you always add your ones first, and then you add your tens. Because when you're adding your ones, you may need to regroup, which means, like we've learned earlier in the year, only one digit can go in a place value column, right? So if you have your ones column and your tens column, you can only have one digit in each column. So the moment you start to add two numbers and you get a two-digit sum, that means that one of those digits is a 10 and the other is the ones. So let's take a look. All right, here we have two numbers, two-digit numbers, 43 and 27. Now in the number 43, there are tens and ones, and in the number 27, there are also tens and ones. In the number 43, look what we did. We lined the numbers up by ones and my 3 in the ones, and I would have my 2 in the tens and my 7 in the ones, okay? That's how our numbers are arranged. So let's go ahead and let's use some base 10 blocks to help us add 43 and 27. Here we have our 43 and our 27, like we talked about just a moment ago. And I'm writing them in my work mat, on my place value work mat, just so you can see what we were doing. Okay, so I lined them up by their place value, my ones and my tens. Well, let's go ahead and let's get some blocks to also model that. Okay, so I have 4 tens and 3 ones because I have 43, 4 tens, 3 ones. And I have 2 tens and 7 ones because I have 27, 2 tens, 7 ones. So the first thing I do is add my ones. Step 1, I add my ones. Step 2, Step 2, I regroup if needed. I can tell right away I know I'm going to need to regroup because I set up my ones like a 10 frame. I have 5, I have 2, that makes 7. I know I need 3 more to make a 10. There's my 3 more that I need to make a 10. So I'm going to grab those like I've done before, and I'm going to drag them here to make my new 10. Once I make a new 10, I can't put 10 in one column. Remember, only one digit. So 7 plus 3 equals 10. We know this, but we can't write 10 and squish 2 digits in one place. This is the ones place, which means we need to take this 10 and regroup them. Move the 10 over here. Now I'm ready to add my tens, which is step add my tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, or 7 tens. So the answer, or the sum, of 43 and 27 equals 70. How about we try another one? All right, I'm thinking of a two-digit number. 46. 46 sounds like a good number. Plus. Good, I like that one. 28. Oh, this one's going to definitely give us a little bit of a challenge. We have some work to do here. The very first thing I want to do is line up my numbers in working form. What I call working form, let me show you. We'll draw a little divider here. Working form is just what we did before. We line up the numbers by their place value, tens and ones. So here we go in working form. 46 plus 28. You know what I like to think of when I see that line? It's kind of like the equal line or the equal sign, but longer. So instead of having equals this way, we put them together and it makes a longer line. I like to think of it that way. That way I remember that this line means equals. All right, so I'm ready to do like before. Step 1, add my ones and then regroup if needed. Oh, wait a minute. I don't need to work these out just yet because I'm mulling with regrouping. So I want to use my tools or draw my quick picks to figure this out first. Then I can work with the numbers directly. So let's go ahead and let's model out 46. And let's model 28. Okay, first things first, add my ones, and I know that I have 6 plus 8. Well, I can use previous strategies learned, like compensation, 6 plus 8. So if I were to grab 2 from here and bring them over to the 8, I just made myself a 10, which means that 6 plus 8 equals 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, I can't write 14 squished in the ones place, so that means I have to regroup. In the number 14, I have 4 ones and 1 10. So let's bring that 10 over. All right, now I'm ready to add my tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So the answer, or the sum to 46 plus 28, is 74. Well, let's go ahead and let's add it in the working form, just like we did before, using step 1, 6 plus 8. 6 plus 8. We said it equals 14, right? So we write our 4 in the number 14. But remember, I can't squish my 10 in the ones place, so I'm going to bring that 10 right up here into the tens column. And now I'm going to add my tens. 4 plus 2 plus 1 10 equals 7 tens. I personally like to use my large number and then count on. Sometimes I like to make a 10. But you could also say 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 2 is 7. Either way, you got it correct. Just remember that when you're regrouping, it just means that the sum of a two one-digit addend equals a two-digit number. So whenever you have a two-digit sum, you have to always regroup.